Thank you. Appreciate
Now, I understand you have nicknames. Do you prefer to be called by your other names or your given names?
Most everybody knows me as Sarge.
Sarge, okay.
I usually go by Charlie, but I've been called many things and answer to them also.
Okay. All right, cool. So tell me about this group. I see you're all, you got your motorcycle gear on, and that's a big part of it. So tell me about this group.
The group's it's a diversified group. We've got members from age 8 up to 80 and older. You don't have to have a motorcycle to belong to us. You don't have to be a veteran to belong to us. Basically, we just want you to support the veterans and the troops and what they do.
Okay, and so tell me how you got involved.
How did I get involved? I guess I stood a flag line one day at a funeral, and it's a very moving experience, and I'm a veteran myself, and it's nice to pay your respects to a veteran, support, and it just snowballed from there. I've been doing it for about 6 years now.
And tell me about your military service.
I was in the Navy during Vietnam. I was fortunate I didn't have to go to Vietnam. I went to South America instead. But I did my time. I come home, and now it's time to respect these young guys that are coming back. And we don't want them to be treated the way we were when we came home. You know, we didn't want garbage thrown at us, spit at, and disrespected. That ain't going to happen as long as Warrior Watch Riders are around.
Well, thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
And thanks for coming on and talking to us about this. Charlie, tell me about how you got involved with the group.
Well, first of all, I never was in the military, and I do what I do to support the military now. I do all I can to do that and to stand behind them and pick them up. I actually got in through the Warriors Watch Rider through a friend of ours, Kerry Dieter. He invited me to come along and started doing what I do and liked what they were doing and got real involved with it. And it's a very rewarding thing that we do. Is we do a lot of feel-good missions and a lot of missions that make you feel proud and a lot of missions that make you cry.
And we love spotlighting local people doing good things here in the community, and that's certainly what your group is doing. Tell us about some of your recent work. I understand you helped welcome Chad Phillips back to Panama City.
Yeah, we met him at the airport a few weeks back and ended up having about 30 members to welcome him home. He had no idea we were going to be there. We had red carpet and flag line set up for him. We had probably 20 people from the Air Force Base to meet him coming back in. He was a police officer with the military K-9 unit and a trainer. And so he came back in, and it was a great thing. We had a good time waiting on him. He appreciated it. It was very emotional for him also.
And his family was there?
He only had one person from his family there. His wife, I believe, is still up in Illinois or someplace like that, and so he's down here on deployment.
And so what kind of reaction do you see from the Warriors when they step off that plane, they're coming through the airport, and like you said, he didn't know you guys were going to be there?
No, he was when he came down the stairs out of the terminal, he saw some of his friends, and then when he walked around the corner and to come through the exit there, he was greeted with, you know, like I said, 30 to 40 people, and we had motorcycles out front lined up with flags on them, and we had people standing in line with the flags and just everybody to greet him there. This day was all about him, and I stepped forward and just shook his hand and welcomed him home on behalf of the Warriors Watch Riders, and told him that all these people are here for him, and every one of them would like to shake his hand.
You are listening to Ramp Line here on GC 90.7 FM, and we're talking about the Warriors Watch Riders. And as you mentioned, you don't have to be a military veteran to belong to this group. So tell me about some of your members.
Our youngest member, he's my grandson. He's 8 years old. The guy, he makes me proud, because when he'll see a serviceman in McDonald's or Walmart, he'll go up and thank you for your service. Yeah. He rides with us when we go over to Sims nursing home. We go over once a month. He'll ride with us sometimes, and he'll go in and visit with the vets, and goes up to every one of them, shakes their hand, thank you for your service, and he gets a kick out of it just as much as they do. They enjoy the visits. We've got some Gold Star moms, we've got Blue Star moms that ride with us.
And tell us about the Gold Star and the Blue Star.
Blue Star is they've got somebody that's active in the military. Gold Star is somebody that lost somebody. They pay the ultimate, sacrifice. And they're a great bunch of people. And there's different organizations that we belong to. The Warrior Watch Riders, it's comprised of all sorts of veterans groups and support groups. You've got Bereaved Military Families of America, Hearts for Military Heroes, Simplify Sisters, Veterans Task Force, just to name a few. There's a bunch of them out there. Plus all your legions, AMVETs, and what have you.
And so I know that you have lots of stories that you can tell us about. Are there a couple that really stand out in your mind that really made an impact on you?
I got two.
Well, the one that sticks out in my mind is a couple from up north, Shauna and Anthony Vera. They were married about a year and a half, and he stepped on an IED in Afghanistan. Lost both legs, one leg up to his hip and the other leg up through his pelvis. And the strength that family shows, their spiritual strength, their emotional strength, their love for each other is just such an inspiration. He missed one of the Warriors Beach retreats last year because he said he wasn't coming back until he could walk. And my eyebrows raised him to walk. So we met him at the airport, and he kind of kept us waiting a little bit. And all of a sudden he emerged walking across to get on the elevator with his prosthetics on with a walker. And he came down, and we were all in tears. We were all just crying like babies. And he just said, I wasn't coming back till I could walk, and I did. And it was just so inspirational to see them and to see the strength that's endured through all of these warriors, not just them, but we've become real close friends with them. And it's just neat to be a part of it.
It is neat.
We had a welcome home at the airport. This young mother of an Air Force, a serviceman's wife contacted us and wanted to know if we could welcome home her husband. And she wasn't telling her kids. She was telling the kids that they were coming out to help us welcome an airman home. So the kids come out and they stood a flag line with us. We had about 40, 50 people out there. The husband got off the plane, and the little girl was standing there on the flag line holding the flag. Her lips started to quiver, saying, "That's my dad."
Aww.
And we had somebody behind her to take her flag. And she went running up and gave her dad a hug because they didn't know he was coming home. And another one was Mr. Middleton out in Mexico Beach, World War II vet, and never got his medals when he was in the service. His daughter made arrangements, got his medals. She wanted to know if we could give him a little parade down the street. When we have a mission, we never know how many bikes are going to show up. Be anywhere from 2 to 200, never know. Well, that particular day, we had 80 motorcycles come down the street with a police escort, and he was quite surprised.
That is such a cool thing to see, especially I automatically think of the Warrior Beach Retreat. And are you guys, the motorcycles?
That one, the next one coming up is in September.
Yeah.
It'll be here from September 17th to the 24th, and the escort will be on the 19th. We'll be coming over the bridge again.
Yeah, that is powerful to see, not just the motorcycles, but the helicopters and just everybody. That's really, really cool.
Well, anybody that wants to get involved with that, if they don't have a motorcycle and are able to ride with us, they can join the Soldiers Angels and Patriot Guard. They usually run the Hathaway Bridge with flags. They have over, I think, about 300-400 flags that they give out to people that want to stand and hold the flag to honor these warriors as they come in.
Right, yeah, we do that at the college too. That's neat. That's
Yeah.
very cool. So with that, tell us about your bikes.
Well, I've been riding since I was 19, and my current bike, like I said, with this 2008 Electric Glide Classic, it's a full dresser, and it's real comfortable to ride on. My wife and I do a lot of traveling back and forth to family in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and then down in Sarasota, and so we take the bike as often as we can, simply because we love riding, and it's a lot cheaper at 45 miles to a gallon opposed to 15 to 20 miles to a gallon in the truck. So we do that as much as we can, and my wife, she just loves riding as much as I do. I can't hardly get on it without her saying, "Wait a minute, I'm going to get my boots."
Yeah.
So we just enjoy it, and it's something we love to do. She's well involved with it, as I am with the Warriors Watch Riders. So she attends as much as she can.
Very cool.
Charlie may have the official title as Assistant State Coordinator, but Sue's just as involved.
She's our official picture taker, as she calls it now.
Yeah. And my other assistant, Tim, and his wife also, they're both involved very heavily. My bike, I got a 2006 Yamaha V-Star 1100. It suits me well. It's the poor man's Harley. You know, mine doesn't break down as often as a Harley
knew that
does.
was coming.
Had to hit them because they're always throwing rice under my bike. You know? But it doesn't matter what you ride or what type of bike you ride. You know, it's all about the ride.
Yeah.
You know. We're not speed demons. We normally cruise about 5 miles over the speed limit, and we're just out to enjoy the ride.
And are there particularly good areas to ride, you know, without a lot of traffic and kind of around
Just
here?
about anywhere down in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do a whole lot of riding around town. We usually
Yeah.
get out of town and go over toward Apalachicola or back over toward Pensacola Beach and Perdido Key and go up north to do things like that. We get together, do fun rides, and go get. Motorcycle community is all about going somewhere to get something to eat, as you can see, and that's what we do. We get together and ride somewhere fun to eat.
Any particular area you prefer to ride that's really fun?
Yeah, going over to Appalachia is usually pretty good. And once a year we go over to Carabel. They have a parade over there for the Camp Gordon Johnson, and it's a nice day over there. Nice ride. It's later on in the year, so sometimes it's chilly. One year we went over there, it was like 20 degrees when we left here. And you dress for it, but it's still kind of chilly. You know.
And you said your grandson is 8, and he's involved too?
Yes, he's got his vest with his Warrior Watch Rider patch on it, and he'll stay in that flag line as well as anybody else can.
Now, something I learned when I did a little bit of research about the group is that you don't take any donations or anything like that. So how do you guys do what you do?
It all comes out of our own pockets. If we need money for water, we'll pass the hat. Throw in 50 cents, $50, whatever you want to throw in for water. Because whenever we do a mission, we're usually standing out there in the heat.
Right.
And we provide water, cold water, so nobody has to worry about dehydration.
And so if people are listening, watching on TV, and they want to get involved, they don't ride, but they just think you do a good job and want to get involved, what can they do? What do you guys need done?
Well, we channel all donations toward us through the Northwest Florida Veterans Task Force. We don't take any money, so it goes through the task force, who in turn support multi-groups in town here in the area. So, like I said, we don't, anybody wants to donate to us, we point them toward the Northwest Florida Veterans Task Force here in town.
Okay.
There's different ways that they can support us, and that's basically word of mouth. Tell people about us, okay? We don't go where we're not invited. Like when we do a funeral, we were asked by the family, okay? Many times I'll look through the paper and I'll see the obits and I'll see veterans that have passed away. And we haven't gotten a call to go stand in the flag line and honor that man or woman. A lot of times it's because the family doesn't know how to get in touch with us. We're readily available. Most of the funeral directors, they've got our numbers. Usually not the time that they're thinking of a flag line or anything like that. It's usually after the fact. But if they know somebody that had a loss, or somebody going into the service or coming home, they can get in touch with us. So go to our website, warriorwatchriders.org, and they can learn about us, learn our history, if they need to get in touch with us. And we'll just contact any veterans group, and they can get in touch with us.
Okay, so that's a good point. If someone has passed away and they were in the military, the family can just ask you guys to come out.
Yeah.
Okay.
To come out, we'll honor them with a flag line, escort to the cemetery if need be. With this sequester stuff, a lot of the firing squads that used to go out to military funerals, because of the sequester and the cutbacks, Now they're only sending 2 people to fold the flag and play taps. We have a church bell that we ring, big church bell. We have the capability of playing taps. We've got a 10-gauge cannon that we can do in lieu of a gun squad. And right now, the Bay County, let's see, what's the exact title? The Bay County Veterans Council, I believe, is in the process of trying to put together an honor guard to take up the slack that's been created by the government with their cutbacks. But that's in the works. I don't know how long it's going to take before that comes to, to be, but being worked on. And we can provide honors for the family. And sometimes they don't want us there, which is understandable. They want their privacy. But if they do want us or need us, we're there. Only a phone call away.
Now, all of us here have lived in different places than Panama City and Bay County before, and one thing that I've noticed through my talking with the veterans or the Warrior Beach Retreat people, Linda Cope especially, is just how this community is so just very giving and just really warm for military members, and I wonder what your guys' feeling was about that.
Well, what I hear from the Warriors from the Warriors Beach Retreat, every one of them will tell you that there's no place that they go in the country, at least that's what they tell us, that they get the welcome and the treatment that they get here in Panama City. They'll all tell you they cannot wait to come back. They love this place. A lot of them say when they get out and when they get healed or whatever, they want to move here because of the veteran support that this community gives them. And they just tell you there's nowhere that they get treated as well as they do in Panama City.
A lot of these warriors, when they came back, they didn't get a hero's welcome, shall we say. A lot of them just went to a medical facility. And they were lucky enough their families were there to greet them, and that was about it. When they come here, they fly in, we're at the airport to greet them with our flag line. And then with the escort that we do and what the community does for them, to show a love and support that they get, not only brings tears to their eyes, it gets to us too. That's why, as Tim puts it, that's another reason we wear dark glasses, not just because of the sun. Okay? Because when you come by the Navy base and you got all that personnel standing there at attention, saluting as these guys, as we come by with the flags on the bikes and these warriors come by, they're saluting the flag of these warriors. And it's a pretty touching thing to see.
And there was a time when that wasn't the norm.
No, it wasn't. You had garbage thrown at you, you got spit at, you got called a baby killer, and all sorts of other stuff. And it's not a nice feeling.
And like now, I can't even imagine, I don't think anybody can imagine that happening, and it's nice to know that there's efforts being made to make sure that doesn't happen.
One of our mottos is that never again will a soldier be scorned, and that's what we're all about. To make sure a soldier doesn't get scorned, and to make sure that anytime possible, we'll welcome them home. That's just what it's all about, basically. That is our mission in a nutshell, to be sure that we have their backs here at home. And when they come home or whenever they leave, we try to be there to give them a send-off and to welcome home, and to make sure they're not scorned by any reason by anybody.
One of our vision statement, okay, is Warrior Watch Riders envision a day when every member of the United States Armed Forces, at home and abroad, and their families feel appreciated, honored, respected, and loved by the citizens they risk their lives to protect.
And anything else you guys want to add before we wrap this up?
I'd just like to reiterate that to be part of our organization, a motorcycle is not necessary. Be a veteran is not necessary. Basically, all that we require and ask of you is to be a patriotic American and be willing to stand in line and say, welcome home.
That about covers it.
That about covers it. Okay. Well, Sarge and Stump, I appreciate you coming on Rap Line, and we learned a lot. Thanks for coming on. And you want to give the website one more time if people want more info? WarriorsWatchRiders.org. And well, they can contact us locally. I'll give you my email. It's ktfm001@aol.com. You can get in touch with me.
If you want, I'll give you my phone number. It's 867-1137.
Okay, very
If you got a
good.
mission note you want us to take care of, just give us a call.
And my email is peaceuga@yahoo.com, and my cell phone is 404-734-7304. And again, that is warriorswatch.org would be our main website. And sign up there. All we need is a name and a phone number. None of that information will go to anywhere else other than our organization.
All right.
We also have a Facebook page if anybody's interested.
Oh, cool.
NWF WWR.
NWF WWR.
And they can check out the local Facebook page and see some pictures of our previous missions.
Very good. All right. Well, that is a wrap for this edition of Wrap Line, and thanks again to my guests, members with Warriors Watch Riders. Wrap Line is a service of Gulf Coast State College and the Sussex Bay Foundation. Peter Michael, trustee. I'm Emily Blaze. Thanks for listening, and have a great night.